load into any orbit, the rocket has to not only go up really fast, but it also has to go sideways. As we ascend, we tilt the engines, and that turns the rocket horizontally. To help demonstrate this concept, imagine firing a cannon from a really high mountain. The cannonball will arc, and then good old gravity will pull it back down to Earth. As you increase the power, the cannonball will arc and land farther and farther away. Eventually, if you could continue to increase the power, the cannonball will end up in free fall around the Earth. Basically, gravity is pulling down on the cannonball, but it's going so fast that it never hits the ground. This arc that constantly misses the Earth is called an orbit. Falcon 9 effectively does the same thing as the cannon in this example. It provides enough power and horizontal velocity to the spacecraft on board the second stage that the spacecraft is placed in orbit around the Earth. You'll be able to see this today by watching the orientation of Falcon 9 after liftoff. The rocket will go straight up until about T plus 10 seconds,
internal power.
At which point we begin that shift in orientation by gimbaling the engines so Falcon 9 can go horizontally really fast. So be sure to look out for that after liftoff. With about 7.5 minutes left until liftoff, we are joined by NASA's Megan Cruz and ESA's Director General Joseph Oshbacher over at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Hey, Megan, how's it looking over there on the East Coast?
Hey, Jesse. Welcome, everyone, to Florida and NASA's Kennedy Space Center, where just behind us, we are waiting to see Euclid launch on a Falcon 9 rocket right off the launch pad behind us. As you said, joining me this morning is Joseph Oshbacher, the Director General of the European Space Agency. Good to have you here this morning.
Glad to be here every time.
Yeah, I love that you're here. And yeah, just talk to us about how Euclid's launch that we're about to see in a few minutes comes on the heel of a great year for you guys at ESA.
ESA had really a fantastic year. We just came out of a ministerial conference in November last year, plus 17% more budget, many new projects, many new activities, so quite fascinating. We have selected 17 astronauts. Some of them will fly from here into space. We have just signed an agreement with Axiom. We're having 5 astronauts in training right now at the Astronaut Center. We have launched JUICE earlier this year. JUICE is an amazing mission which fits very well with Euclid, which is looking at habitability of the icy moons of Jupiter, something quite unimaginable, just as crazy as Euclid, dark matter, dark energy, which is really amazing. So we have a lot to do. We have a Space Summit coming up towards the end of the year, where we want to raise the profile of space in Europe to top-level politicians and to see what Europe needs to do to really be a strong space power, also to our partners in America.
Right, and in order to foster that, the space industry, I mean, one of the reasons you really want to do that is to also address a global issue that we here at NASA really care about as well.
Oh yes, we do. We have many satellites that look at our planet.